Hi there. If you haven't watched this channel before, my name is Sam Patterson and I have been in a long distance relationship for just over 4 years now with the love of my life, Monica Gartner. As you can tell by my accent, I'm from the UK where it's currently 10:17 AM. I just checked my phone. And my fiance, Monica, lives 3,500 miles away in New York where it's currently 5:17 AM. Well, it's just turned 5:18 actually, but yeah. So safe to say she's not going to be filming this video with me because she is fast asleep. Monica and I started this YouTube channel together about 1.5 years ago. And I was looking through the comments the other day and I realised that so many people comment asking some sort of variation of how do we cope with the distance? How do we cope with being so far apart for such a long time at a time? And I thought instead of replying to all those comments, I'll make a video on it. So, this video is how we cope with being in a long distance relationship. Hopefully there's a few points that you can take from this to help with your personal long distance relationship. So let's get started. So, number one, I put up 2 fingers. Number one, this isn't in order by the way, this is just a combination of points. So the first thing, the first reason we have managed to kind of close the distance virtually, even though we are actually physically thousands of miles away from each other, is through video calling. We FaceTime or Skype or WhatsApp call, well, every single day, for at least an hour every single day. That way we can stay connected in each other's lives and basically feel integrated and part of each other's lives even though we're physically thousands of miles away from each other. I think that's very, very important to stay in contact, if not through video, through phone calls, if not through phone calls, through text every single day. Because that way you don't drift from each other. The second point is we spend a lot of that time on FaceTime and Skype and WhatsApp together, planning trips and planning reunions. Now, I mean, the other day, for example, we spent about 3 hours on the phone to each other planning this trip around Europe in great detail. So, as a bit of an insight, Monica's best friend Lily is coming to Europe to visit us next month. And we want to kind of show her around a bit. So we've been looking at where are we going to go, we're picking flights, we're looking at hotels, looking at activities. We're really planning in depth every single aspect of these trips. Because not only does it give us something to be excited about, but it gives us something to feel closer to each other about as well, if you get what I mean. So we do a lot of that, and we do a lot of planning reunions as well. So for example, we're planning at the moment for when Monica's going to come back to the UK. She's just booked her flight for February the 13th. Which is really, really awesome. She booked it the other day. Up until the point at which she booked her flight, we're thinking, you know, when should she come? What can we do when she comes? All that kind of stuff. And now that she's booked it, we're thinking, okay, on these dates we want to go down to London. On these dates we want to fly to X place in Europe. You know, we're really just planning everything to do while she's here. And like I said, it gives us something to talk about, something to feel closer about, and something to be excited about. Number 3, the third thing we do together is, again, it involves video calling, or at least if you can't do video calling, or if you don't want to do video calling, you can do a phone call. What we do is, well, Monica and I are both obsessed with a show called The Vampire Diaries. So what we do is we'll Skype each other, so I'll Skype Monica on my computer, she'll Skype me on her computer, and then I'll put the computer on my desk chair, as you can see behind us, and over there is my TV. So what I'll do is I Skype Monica, I sit on the sofa, I put the computer on my desk chair, and we both start the same episode at exactly the same time. So even though we're not physically there with each other, you know, even though we can't cuddle each other and eat the same treats and, you know, go to the shops before and get snacks together and stuff like that, it's almost as good. Well, it's as good as we can get on video because at least we can watch the show in real time and kind of talk about it and discuss what's happening and stuff in real time. So it kind of, even though we can't physically touch each other, it feels like we're there together. It feels like we're close, even though we're thousands of miles away from each other. Point 4, the fourth thing is we work together. So we don't really go into much detail on this on our YouTube channel, but Monica and I actually work together in 3 different ways. Firstly, we run a multi-award winning social media management company together. So we're both co-founders and partners in that company, which is really, really cool. And it's really fun. It's something we're passionate about. It allows us to travel back and forth. I'll come on to that in a sec, but it allows us to travel because it's all online. And it's something else for us to chat about, something else for us to discuss. Secondly, I run another company as well called Net Portfolios, which basically invests in a bunch of different businesses. And Monica is actually writing dog blogs for me for a dog blog that I have at the moment, which is really, really cool. And so we're working together on that, which is really fun. And dogs is something that Monica especially is very, very passionate about. So, I mean, she would do it for free. And thirdly is, well, YouTube. I mean, at the end of the day, YouTube provides us with a small amount of income. We had an MTV show together. We do all these different social media platforms and videos and images and stuff together. And I guess you could say that's the way we work together too. So the main point I want you guys to take away from this, and I think this is the most important point on the list, is due to the fact that Monica and I can work online with each other, we're not constrained to a specific location, job, school, stuff like that. So due to that, we actually have the flexibility to travel back and forth quite often. So every time I go over to America, I come over for at least 3 weeks or a month. And Monica actually comes over for longer. Monica sometimes comes over for 2 to 3 months to the UK. So I think that's what makes our long distance relationship honestly a lot easier than the majority of people, because the majority of people are in full-time jobs or even part-time jobs where they have to be in a specific location, or they're in school, college, university, whatever it is. Being able to work online and choose our own hours really is a massive, massive privilege for us, and we're very, very lucky to be in this position and be able to do that, because it really, really helps with a long distance relationship at the end of the day. The fifth point is planning our future together. So if you're new to this channel, Monica and I got engaged on October 16th, 2019. So about 3 months ago, we got engaged, which is insane. Basically, I asked Monica to be my girlfriend 4 years ago in October 2015 in the south of France. And I thought I wanted to propose on our anniversary in the same place. So for our 4th anniversary, I surprised her with a trip to the south of France. And on our anniversary, I booked a car for the day and we drove to a cliff top overlooking Monaco, and I asked her to marry me. So due to the fact that we just got engaged, we have a lot of planning to do for the future. Mainly our wedding, first up. So we've just chosen the venue. So when I was over in America last, and I just got back about 3 weeks ago or so, we looked around our dream wedding venue and we booked it for June the 30th, 2021.
All right, thanks so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Oh my gosh. Honey, we've literally reserved our date. We've reserved our dream wedding venue on our dream date, June the 30th, 2021.
In 537 days, we're gonna be married.
Oh my gosh.
We've also chosen the majority of our wedding party. It's not fully decided yet, but those that we have chosen, we kind of asked them to be part of our wedding party, which was absolutely awesome. And we've done a few other things. We've come up with a guest list, we've designed the invitations, you know, stuff like that. Monica's actually found her dream wedding dress as well, and I'm sure she'll show you guys very soon. I'm not allowed to see it, she says, so I won't watch that video. But also we have a lot more to plan. We have literally so much that we didn't even think about to plan with the wedding. So that's what is also helping us feel closer to each other, because whenever we chat, like I said, we video call every day for at least an hour. We're talking about plans for the future, and after the wedding, we're planning, how am I going to get a visa? We've decided a spouse visa. Where are we going to live? Most likely Florida. We're even deciding what kind of house do we want, what cars do we want together. We're deciding everything to do with our future. And I think just getting excited about that together is something that's bringing us closer together and making us feel closer together, even though we're physically, like I said, thousands of miles apart from each other. And lastly, so the 6th point is we keep the spark alive by constantly keeping the relationship fresh and exciting by surprising each other. We'll come either a day before, a week before, we'll show up in some crazy way, like I pretended to be a chef once at a teppanyaki restaurant. I pretended to be a delivery guy the last time I went and surprised Monica. One time Monica hid in a lawnmower box and like pretended that she got me a lawnmower for a Christmas gift and jumped out of it, and we do crazy, crazy things surprising each other, and it always keeps the spark alive and keeps it exciting at the end of the day. And when we're not surprising each other, we're just generally reuniting. So whenever we're talking on video call, whether it's Skype, FaceTime, WhatsApp, whatever it is, we're talking about when are we next going to see each other, and we're booking flights together, and like I said before, we're planning what we're going to do when we're together. And by doing that and reuniting, it really helps us feel closer to each other. So bearing those 6 points in mind, even though Monica and I live 3,500 miles away from each other, as I've said about 15 times in this video, if someone wants to count and comment below, that'd be funny. But yeah, even though we're living thousands of miles apart from each other, we're on different continents, we're on completely different time zones and sleeping schedules and working schedules and everything, we managed to keep as close as possible through the distance by making sure we're as integrated as possible into each other's lives. If you get what I mean, we include each other in each other's lives on every single front. Work, relationships, you know, traveling, we do everything together and we plan everything together, so that even though we are the distance away, I'm not going to say the magical 3,500 number that I just said, even though we're that far away from each other, we still mentally feel close. And even though we can't touch each other, we're still a massive part of each other's lives. And I think that's the number one key. I think that's the number one reason why we've managed to keep this relationship alive for so long, for over 4 years now, is because we're constantly growing together. We are including each other in absolutely every aspect of our lives. We're keeping the spark alive by exciting each other and kind of surprising each other, and, you know, taking each other on surprise trips, and, like, you know, showing up early and out of the blue and in wacky ways and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that is the number one thing to take away from this, to just, even though you're thousands of miles or hundreds of miles or tens of miles away from each other, you've just got to keep each other integrated into each other's lives. You've got to include each other in every aspect of your life and just put absolute 100% effort into keeping the spark alive at all times. Like I said at the start, I really hope you guys found this video useful and you managed to take at least a couple of points away from it, and a couple of kind of tips and pieces of, you know, nuggets of advice on, you know, little ideas and how you can keep the spark alive in your relationship, and how you can kind of mentally close that distance despite the physical distance between yourselves. I just want to say really quickly, if you are in a long distance relationship, Monica actually created a Facebook group a few days ago for everybody in long distance relationships. We don't have many members right now, we've got about 100 members I think, but if you want to join it, I'm going to put a link in the description below, and it's a really, really cool place to hang out and kind of connect with people that are in the same situation, to either offer advice or ask for advice and tips, and kind of, you know, where do you book each other's flights, and like how often do you guys see each other, and just kind of share stories about your long distance relationship. And I think it's a really cool little community that Monica's building on Facebook, so I'm going to put a link in the video description below, so check it out if you want to, and yeah, join if you're in a long distance relationship, and hopefully all the members will be able to kind of help you out, and you'll be able to help them out, and you'll be able to make this kind of crazy aspect of our lives a little bit easier. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, Monica's flying back over to the UK on February the 13th, so as soon as that time comes around, in a couple of weeks time, I cannot wait. I'm counting down the minutes. As soon as that comes around, we're going to be filming videos together again and being our usual crazy selves. So yeah, like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you did enjoy it, if it was helpful, please, please, if you're not subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. I've noticed recently that 76% of our viewers aren't subscribed. So if you do subscribe, it really, really would mean the world to us, and we'd be able to dedicate more time to this channel. So, you know, like it, comment, share it with your friends, subscribe, all that stuff. It really means the world to us. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Thank you.